Welcome. Thank you for joining me in this program, 25 Lessons of Kung Fu. The greeting I just showed you is one used in martial arts, in Chinese martial arts, and also some Korean martial arts too. The right hand is a fist representing martial arts, or the ability to produce force and power. And then the left hand is open, representing ethics or morality. And the ethics, morality always covers the ability to make force. So it also represents yin-yang. So yin-yang, male, female, left, right, up, down, inside, outside, spiritual, physical. So it's showing that there's the person who uses this greeting, that they're aiming to produce balance and harmony inside themselves and inside their life. And that's a big focus of Kung Fu training, to produce this empowerment that comes from working with polarities and working with the inner contents inside yourself. So this program has several aspects, key aspects to it. So the first and primary aspect is the dragon tiger form. It's a Shaolin based form. It's a 6 movement repeating practice, repeating drill. That's what the whole 25 lessons is building up to. So it's not just about remembering a bunch of movements and repeating them over and over, but it's a certain quality and understanding that comes from how you move, how to get much more functional power, more kinetic power coming out of your body, and strengthening a certain body where you're not damaging your joints as you produce more power from your body. So martial arts is aiming to produce power from whatever size body you have. All the power aims to make the whole body move as a single unit, unified unit, and get the power out to a single point, whether it's in the fist or the elbow, the forearm, the head, the shoulder, the knees, the hips, or the feet. So it's aiming to make all that power in the whole body go out to one point. It sounds easy, but it can be a very difficult thing to do, because the body is generally too tense. It has too much strength in areas where it shouldn't have as much strength. So the other aspects of the training, so there's a few. One is called Fa Song Gong. Fa Song Gong is the ability to be able to relax and release from the inside of the body, to release excessive strength and tension, so that the body is able to sink into its base, into the legs, into the waist, and produce power that's like a throw-like action or a whipping kind of nature to it. It's a vibration force starts to come on. That's one of the ideas with internal training. There's a vibration that starts to come out of your body when you strike. There's mobility training. So if you can't quite rotate the joints properly, you can't get maximum power. And the idea is being like a piece of silk. If you wrap a piece of silk around, it'll gradually tighten. And then when you let the silk go, it naturally uncoils. So we're always coiling and uncoiling the body, and a lot of that comes from rotation and also what's called open and close. So if you can rotate joints better and more fully, you can get much more chance of coiling, just like coiling a spring, and then it'll naturally have more power. So that's another aspect of the training, is the mobility training, connects in with the Fa Song Gong training. The Fa Song Gong training, the mobility training, and also the form work that we're doing, the movements, they're aiming to coordinate your body more and more deeply. And ultimately, martial arts is about deep levels of coordination that just improves more and more over time. We also have Qigong training. Qigong means energy skill. If Kung Fu was a car, Qigong is the engine of the car. Really important in internal Kung Fu. That's why it's one of the big reasons why it's called internal training, because this is meditative focus built inside. It's like the engine is built off energy, is built off meditation, built off moving your body a certain way to connect it inside and influence the organs, the strength of the organs. So we're strengthening the body not just physically on the outside with the muscles, tendons and bones and things, but also the fascia. We're linking the fascia, making that coordinate, making it more conductive, the kinetic force through the body, make the chi more conductive through the body, connecting segments, opening up spaces inside the body, and ultimately be able to influence the energy in the organs, which has a big influence on the mind, big influence on virtuous qualities coming out. And when you're someone who's gets good at Kung Fu, means that you have a certain level of virtue already developing. Those virtues are consistency, virtue of diligence, the virtue of forbearance, the better continue, of resilience and self-discipline. Those things you can't buy. You just produce them inside yourself, and you become, after a while, someone who people know you as someone who's got a lot of strength, someone who's got toughness about yourself. That's not a rigid toughness, but there's a ability to absorb and give back, ability to flow with situations while keeping a center, not trying to flow and then losing the spine and being too weak, not being too rigid and creating contesting forces with other people all the time. So you're someone who is able to really flow and work with others without losing your center. You're good at producing boundaries. And doing martial arts practice, developing more virtue, makes the ability to make boundaries come out more often. And one of the very interesting things about research we've done with perpetrators of violence in jail, when they're asked, why did you choose this person as the victim? They usually say they weren't aware. They were on their speakers, their headphones, they looked weak, they weren't aware of their surroundings, and they didn't project a sense of, I can defend myself. So it's a sense of confidence is what it is, not overconfidence, but a sense of confidence. And as you move your spine better, as the body's more open, you become more connected to the animal nature inside yourself, the gut instinct, which is what the internal Kung Fu does, as part of what it does. Makes the body more like an animal, but the mind very different. You naturally walk differently. You walk with power. You walk with a natural serenity and a natural sense of, I value myself. I'm a protector. I can protect myself and I can protect those around me too. So those virtuous qualities start to come out. So as a big part of this training, as you go through, is I want you to elevate your sense of priority of health. So some people have a level of health that's it's at the last thing they focus on. They do all the stuff during the day, and then they're at the end of the day, it's a focus on them if they even get time. Or the focus of health is at the bottom of the list. We need to make the health come to quite high up on the list. And the reason being that when you're more healthy, you're able to, it means that you're valuing and you're caring about yourself, you're caring about your energy, you become a cultivator of yourself, cultivate your energy, a better mover. There's less pain in your body when you're able to look after your health, there's less illness, you're less of a burden to your family. When you have more health, you have more energy. Life is much more happy, and it's easy to be happier and more content when you have more energy. When you have a pain in the back, when you're really, really tired, just a little bit of stress makes you quite aggravated. So we want more energy. There's organisation skills for time management. That's a big thing for doing this training. So you're still managing, working with your family, doing your work, being integral in the things you need to do in your life, but put integrity also into your health. Put integrity into looking after yourself, not just other people all the time and you're always last. Putting yourself first is a selfish selflessness. So you need to fill your bucket first, so then you can give from your bucket. That's a really, really important concept. Our society doesn't value that and doesn't understand that enough. If you're a giver and you're being depleted by giving, you don't have the wisdom yet in how to really give. Because ultimately, when you're able to use energy well, when you give, you get more energy back when you give. So how you use this course, go through lesson by lesson. Each lesson has, some lessons have several parts to them. You can just watch one part or you can watch it all, and there's always a follow along. So do the lessons, do it with me so you get the embodiment of what I'm trying to do, you're feeling and sensing, don't just sit to watch. And then if you don't have much time one day, just do the follow along lesson. And then another day go back and do the lessons. So there is enough content for you to pick it up, but there's also greater content when you go through the lessons. There's more precise detail. Integrity, I want you to make that the highest priority that you have. So health is up high, but integrity, the main thing, is up high. So you're able to work your Kung Fu training, your work into yourself. You're able to work that with still looking after your family, not neglecting them. This should make and enhance every part of your life. Kung Fu training makes you more empowered, brings mind, body, spirit together to make you more empowered and more aware. The wisest leader is the one with the most self-awareness. So you become a wiser father, a wiser mother, a wiser son, a wiser brother, a wiser sister, a wiser worker, more aware, more wise in how to use your body. A lot of people use their body in a very damaging way. It's kind of like abusive how they use their body. So the Qigong training in particular helps you become very wise in how to use your body, and it's more sensitive to what it needs. So you do the follow along. At the end of the lesson 24, 25, there's lesson plans. You just follow that lesson plan. It gives you a very good sequence to follow when you're building your own lesson plan, which you will gain knowledge of how to do just by learning the exercises. You'll know what's best for your body and what's best to develop for the foundation training. And the focus of this whole series, that it comes from what I learned in my 17-year apprenticeship of Kung Fu with my teacher, is on foundation training. Foundation training is something that can be a bit hard to find. And after practicing for many years, I realized, wow, I've discovered something that people travel the world to find. And what I'm teaching you is the foundation training here, or elements of it. There'll be other courses after this one, which I'll teach other aspects of the foundation training too. They'll be coming out. So the foundation training means that it produces change in qualities in your body, where it's not just about learning movements, but the quality of how you move. That's what makes the power. And foundation training is about the power behind all techniques. So it's developing what's called the dragon body. So when you lift your arm, the power is already there. I wish to acknowledge, before I finish here, my teachers, and I thank them with so much gratitude for their help in my development over the years. My teacher, Fei Wong, thank you so much for all the effort and time you put into me over the last 17 years and allowing me into the program initially. And to Breton Fontaine Wagland, thank you for your guidance, deep guidance over all these years as well. I am largely who I am because of all three of you. I wish you all the best with your practice.